Good afternoon and welcome to the Victoria Pleasure Grounds for this Betfred Championship clash brought to you by the Vikings official partners, Northern Retrofit. The North Wales Crusaders come to town this afternoon after what has been an eventful week for them. The Vikings looking to get back to winning ways as soon as possible after a spirited, competitive but ultimately disappointing defeat to high-flying London Broncos last time out. The team news, the lineup for the Vikings this afternoon. Josh Gusdek returns at fullback. Much needed return for him after a calf strain. Tom Halliday, local boy, returns on the wing as well. Macca Harmon continues in his unfamiliar role of right centre alongside the impressive Cooper Howlett, and the Vikings leading try scorer Connor Barley on the left hand side. Shane Toohey partners Jack Miller in the halfback pairings with the experienced front row duo of Tyler Craig and Liam Watts, the former Super League man, making his 400th club appearance and leading out his side this afternoon. At number 9, the hooker Will Jubb. Back row of Keenan Tomlinson back in the side today, and well, it was going to be captain Brett Ferris, but Liam Watts given that honour today, and Nick Stavely completes the lineup at 13. On the bench, Callum Shaw, Jalen Hodgson, Callum Rutland and Brad Bullock. Of course, your coach for the Vikings is Scott Taylor. Lining up for a rather unfamiliar looking North Wales Crusaders side that has been hastily put together over this last week or so as they kick short from the off, looking to start this game in a slightly unique fashion. At fullback, Isaac Wheatley, a backline of Lewis Holgate, Evan Rowlands, Leo Skerrett Evans and James Farrer, Bradley Billsborough and Ben Deeney, your halfback pairings, Harry Coleman and Charles Tetley at forwards, the prop forwards positions with Jamie Billsborough at 9, a back row of Ewan Bowie and Connor Terrell, and Will McArdle completing that back row. And on the bench, Ben Fisher, Matty Lightfoot, Logan Stott and Jamie Fozzard. Their coach is Sean Long. Not the Sean Long. Sean Long, in fact, who has been coaching the North Wales Crusaders team in the women's division and has stepped up to the first grade to do his bit for the side, who have had a rather troubled week, because Watts on his 400th appearance gets his first touch of the ball, carrying this in through the middle of the park. And looking to set up the Vikings in good ball for the first time this afternoon as they come to Miller. Miller with a short pass into Ferris. A couple of the old-timers combining for the Vikings. Not quite as big a crowd here in what is overcast settings and windy, as you can tell in RFX microphones here today at the Victoria Pleasure Ground. It was set fair earlier with the sun shining. Not quite as warm this time around. As Jubb comes out of 9. Straight and looking for Watts. Watts looks to offload the ball a couple of times, but he'll just choose to take the tackle. 10 metres out now in the red zone. Just short the line, Miller on the left-hand side. He's got Ferris running onto this ball. He'll come outside and look for the flick pass to his winger, Tom Halliday. And Tom Halliday looks to ground that ball, but the flag was already up from the touch judge. That one will be ruled out. And a good first opportunity goes begging for the Vikings. No summariser with us this afternoon. As you've probably guessed, we were hoping to have a member of the Vikings first team squad, but unfortunately hasn't made it up here. But we may find that someone does arrive at some point during the first half, so we will keep you posted on that, and we'll do our level best to talk you through proceedings in this first period as North Wales Crusaders will get their hands on the ball for the first time. And as we say, what has been a turbulent week for them, the Crusaders not being able to field the team in their last couple of outings against Midlands and Doncaster. In fact, the Doncaster League match was given to the Dons as a 48-0 defeat for the Crusaders earlier this week when the new look ownership was ratified to take control of the failing club. Great to see they've managed to throw what is a rather unfamiliar looking team together, but all credit to them, to the new owner and to the coaching staff and this group of players that have ensured this game is on here in Goole this Saturday afternoon as they come forward once more with a long kick upfield. Decent set from the Vikings, just penning their opposition into their own half. The kick is long. Josh Gusdek lets that roll into touch, and the Vikings will have a scrum down with head and feed midway through their own half. With just a couple of minutes played in this match, Goole, of course, looking to bounce back, just the 2 league wins this season. 4 wins in total, as Cup Rugby will come back into the fore next weekend when they take on the Rochdale Hornets in the quarter-final of the 1895 Cup, as Barley gets his hands on the ball for the first time. An impressive performer this season, the Vikings' top try scorer, looking to release the ball. The referee, Coles held. Lucas Seal, been a familiar face in the Championship on the touchline, actually refereeing his first match here today, and he's got his assessor, former Super League referee Ben Thaler, monitoring his performance as well, just sat down beneath us in front of the TV gantries. Nick Stavely takes an impressive carry forward through the middle of the park, looking for a quick play the ball. Nothing doing there, and a good tackle coming in from Harry Coleman, the big experienced prop forward, and Josh Gusdek feeds out to Tom Halliday down the left-hand side, shows some pace. Great tackle coming in There from Leo Skerritt-Evans, former Castleford Tigers junior, spent a bit of time recently at Keighley Cougars as Jubb comes across the field. He moves it out to Tui. Tui with the long ball out to the wing of Barley. Barley looking to find a little bit of space on the right wing, and he will. And he'll slide home to score. First blood to the Vikings. Connor Barley's 15th try of the season. And the Vikings will be pleased with that. It's a 4-0 lead for Scott Taylor's men inside just 4 minutes of this match. And that is the start the Vikings and the home fans would have wanted, as the North Wales Crusaders failed to deal with some attacking play, moving the ball well, sliding it across the field, looking dangerous in these early exchanges. As we rewatch that one through, good combinations from the two half. Jubb just engaging the line, and a lovely long cut-out pass from Shane Tui, giving Barley still a lot to do on that far left-hand side. But he goes around Evan Rowlands, the centre, touches down in the corner, and the Vikings lead by 4 points to 0, with a kick to come in these breezy conditions here at the Victoria Pleasure Grounds. In what is going to be a long afternoon if our summariser doesn't appear up here. I'm joined by our production team of Jamie Hobbs, who looks as cold as I am stood up here. It was gloriously warm down there in the build-up to this game, but being stood just elevated, slightly higher in the breeze here as we wait for Jack Miller to take this kick on the far side of the field. The birds flying away in the background, and it's a long kick in the breeze, and he can't quite get that one to reach the post, so it stays 4-0. It's the Vikings 4, Crusaders 0, with 5 minutes played in the game so far. You can tell already there's a strong breeze here as the clouds just come over. A little bit of mist just setting it in the distance as the familiar Goole landmarks of the famous salt and pepper pots cast their shadow across the pleasure grounds here this afternoon in what has been a good start for the Vikings and a testing one for Crusaders, who don't go short this time. It's the flat kick-off, ball bouncing, just bounces off the artificial turf, and Tyler Craig will wind this one up. He crashes into the line. Good defence coming in there from Crusaders, fronting up in the consolation with Terrell and Jamie Billsborough. A couple of lads there have been doing the hard yards in the NCL. There's a few amateur players in this squad here today for Crusaders who have put their hands up to play and join their new club. But what a great opportunity for them to showcase their talent here in the Betfred Championship as well. Having just, of course, the one training session I understand they've had this week. So they really have thrown this team together last minute, and you've got to give them all the credit in the world for getting themselves up for playing this match as what has been a challenging few weeks. As Harmon comes forward for the Vikings, the former Hull FC junior, more often seen playing in the standoff role, but the last couple of weeks Scott Taylor opting to using in the outside backs. Tui, Jubb down the line to Miller. Miller looking for Guzdeck out the back, and Howlett. Howlett spots a gap in the line and look to go himself with a big offload and the fend. He can't quite release the ball. Another good tackle coming in down this side by Skerritt-Evans. He stood up well in defence in these early exchanges. Miller again on the ball. They'll look to kick early. In behind, and the Crusaders will deal with that one. Look to escape the lines, can't quite get out. Lewis Holgate, I believe, scooping that one up, and the Crusaders are forced to come off their own line. As you hear the away fans, a small pocket of fans have made the journey up from North Wales, and all credit to them, coming to get behind their side, doing everything they can to keep their club alive this year. And playing in all white here they come once more. That's Coleman again. He's been around the block a long time, and a familiar face in the Northwest in some of the amateur ranks. Still packs a bit of a punch, but it'll be a test playing some of the big minutes here today for the Crusaders, you would assume, as Guzdeck controls that and looks to bring the ball upfield. A bit of room looking to open up out wide, but he decides to take the tackle himself. 2 men in there as the Crusaders defence looks a little bit stressed as the Vikings come forward once more, working their way up the middle. The backs doing the carrying. Connor Barley just punches a couple away, but good contacts and good effort and energy coming in from this Crusaders defence, fronting up, looking to represent their side well as Jubb moves it to Staveley. Staveley winds up, Carey looking for a quick pay. The ball skittles a couple of men. Will that be back to one? It's not. Jubb will go himself this time. Bumps off a couple of men. Looks to present the ball, but they're wrapped up well. The hooker diving in there, Jamie Billsborough, in and around his legs as the Vikings come hunting once more. They move the ball at the left-hand side. Howlett with the kick. He's going to chase that down himself. He dives on the ball, but he finds it's gone loose. So he's going to struggle with that one. And it will be Crusaders with his hands on the ball once more. trying to coerce one of the Vikings players to finally get themselves up the ladder and come and do some commentary for us. But certainly mean you won't have to suffer my voice for the full remaining 72 minutes of this match. As Crusaders come forward, midway through the Vikings half, that's Dean just sliding the ball forward. He's had a bit of experience at this level, playing with Keith the Cougars. Not had the best of times with injuries, but got some talent in there, can play by all accounts from those connected with the club up in West Yorkshire. As they kick this one long and it bounces off the end of the ball, comes back inside, so stays in field, and Harmon will scoop this one up and they'll return the ball with a bit of intent. Almost drops that one. Great contact coming in from the Crusaders there. They're fronting up in defence. They're really starting to just lift their intensity. They're playing with a bit of eagerness and intent and looking to represent that badge with a bit of pride and passion, which is great to see. As the Vikings come forward once more, that's Barley. Plays the ball, Jubb in there. Watts with quick hands into Tomlinson, did well to gather hold of that one and takes the tackle. Toohey himself this time looking to run. He's dangerous when he has got a bit of broken field to run into. No offload coming in there. Big hit from Leo Skerritt Evans. Not the first time those guys have gone head to head. They've gone head to head in the days of Castleford and Leeds Rhinos respectively, played in the reserve grade and the amateur ranks. As the Vikings come forward with Staveley. Midfield now. Options both sides. Jubb feeds Craig. Craig plays out the back looking for Toohey. Misses him out. And Guzdecki's there. Harmon will kick him behind at right centre. Not the best kick. It's drifted up in the air. Will go out on the full. And a bit of a sloppy end to the set there for the Vikings. They won't be happy with that one. But they are making good metres up the middle of the park on a breezy afternoon here in East Yorkshire. As we make our first interchange in the commentary box, just as North Wales Crusaders do the same, with Harry Coleman coming off the field. And we're just going to rearrange a little bit up here because I'm delighted to say we're joined by one of the Vikings' most seasoned campaigners and somebody I've known for a stupidly long amount of time and had the pleasure of working back alongside during our time here at the Vikings, and that's the well-travelled and experienced Jack Aldous, who has clearly pulled the short straw downstairs and been coerced into jumping into the commentary box with us, which is certainly appreciated. We'd love to see Jack out there, but he's been struggling a little bit this year with an injury, but the group's certainly benefiting from his experience. It obviously spans many, many years, a seasoned pro at this level, known for his spells, of course, with York City Knights and Newcastle, and having come through the ranks as a junior just up the road at Hull FC. Great to have you with us, Jack. Thank you for jumping up for the next 70 minutes with us, and a bright start so far from the Vikings. Oh yeah, good introduction there from the Clarke. I like that.
No, yeah, good to be here in that, yeah, and good start, nice steady start. It's all about building pressure, like we know. These games, like I said, they don't win the first 10-20 minutes, it's the full 80 minutes, so no, building a bit of pressure and just feel our way into it.
How difficult is it when you're coming up on Toohey? Just breaks through the line. That's where he's dangerous. A gap in the line for Shane Toohey. He opens up the wheels and he's clean through to score. Lovely break from the former Leeds Rhinos youngster. You can't afford to give him too much space there. Nice little flat pass, gap in the line, and Shane Toohey will make no mistake. The Vikings extend their lead to 8 points to 0 with a kick to come. And just as you were just setting the scene and talking about playing the patient game, Shane Toohey steps up with a bit of magic. And the one thing that young man's got, you give him a sniff and he will take it.
Yeah, you can't teach that. You've got it from the start, and like Shane showed throughout the season, he has got that X factor. You can't coach it, you can't teach it, you just got it.
So he's rearranging Jack's mic. The kick will come here from Jack Miller as he just lines up the kicking tee. I was just going to ask you before Shane ran in there, and you can see the replay coming through on the screen in front of us there. How difficult is it when you're prepping for a match like this week where there's been a bit of uncertainty? Will it be on, won't it be on? Not too familiar with the players you're coming up against. Does it all just become down to your performance and doing things in the right manner?
Yeah, like you just said, Clarke, you just got to make it all about yourself. You can't really do too much video on them, too much practice on them. You don't know what they're going to put out, so it just becomes a performance all about yourself, which a lot of it is about most weeks. You know, if you can control the stuff you can, you're going to have a good performance. So yeah, I think we're doing that. You can only play what's in front of you, and you just got to do what you can do.
Well, we're just watching that one back as Jack Miller slots the conversion for a 10-point lead, and the replay just coming through here. You can see that pass from Nick Staveley playing in the 13 role, and just a bit too much space there for Shane Toohey. The step off the right foot, the gap in the line, and he makes no mistake from 25 yards out. And that's ominous signs, you would say, for the Crusaders, because as this game starts to stretch a little bit, as fatigue kicks in, it's players like Shane Toohey that could really have a big influence on this match. So the Crusaders will look to get things back underway. 13 minutes gone here at the Pleasure Grounds. It's a 10-0 lead for the home side, and a good start for the Vikings as the wind just continues to blow across this ground and the clouds come over. The sun has definitely gone missing now as a few spotlights come on across the docks in the distance. Good carry there from Tyler Craig. He's had a couple of big involvements in these early exchanges. One of Jack's former teammates from his York and Newcastle days, and he's won himself a penalty there. Great start from Tyler. And he's the sort of player, isn't he, in these matches where you just need to lean on that element of experience.
Yeah, you know what you're going to get from Ty. Like I said, he's a solid 7-8 every week, reliable. So you know what you're going to get from him.
Well, we always say he always delivers. He is, of course, a part-time postman, and he's had some good news. Another member of the family expected along the way. He announced that news in the last couple of weeks, so congratulations to the Craig family as Jubb moves this ball left to Staveley, who's been good in these early 10 or 15 minutes or so of this match. Takes the tackle, 3 men in there. Leo Skerritt-Evans is one of them. He's been busy in defence so far. And the 9 in there as well, Billsborough. They moves it to left. Miller, flat pass into Howlett, looks to break through the line. Good defence once more coming in for the Crusaders and position themselves well. Dean was one of the ones in the tackle, the tall and rangy halfback Miller, former teammate of Dean's actually over at the Cougars, looks to find Shane Toohey. It's not on, but Craig will pick up the loose ball, just punches his head through the line, takes the tackle. The player from the interchange bench is Logan Stott, who's been introduced with those bright yellow boots, and moves it to the right hand side to Toohey. Toohey steps, looks to come inside. He just about finds the tackle, just enough to slow him down as Jubb keeps the ball alive. Guzdeck himself will now come crashing into the line. Tackle made coming in there from Connor Terrell, but the ball is still alive. Jubb with a short pass to Watts on his 400th appearance, and Watts celebrates it with a try. Will the referee give it? And he say no. He say no. And the moment, the headline writing moment, doesn't go in the way, and a quick restart. That's the fullback, Isaac Wheatley, with the scrum back on, looking to charge upfield. And I think Watts had enjoyed his moment there in front of his family and in front of the home fans. Referee not having any of it. As the Vikings reset their defensive line, and Crusaders will come. Big carry, hear that wind driving up. Big carry there from James Farrer, actually a relatively local boy, brought up in Hull, spent a little bit of time at Hull KR and Newcastle, and most recently been playing at Hull Rugby Union Club, whilst also studying over at Hull University. As the Crusaders move it to the right with Dean. Dean looking to find a pass out the back, no one really there. They managed to scoop up the loop ball. I think that's Lightfoot there, and then they move it centre field again. Miller coming in to make the tackle. Ferris in there to help with Craig as well. Taken to ground. Will McArdle got a powerful carry on him, but come to the short side.
Good quick pressure.
A kick there from Dean, high upfield. Guzdeck's under it, blowing in the breeze, but he takes it comfortably, and the Vikings will come again. Decent set from Crusaders, and a good response in defence from the Vikings.
Yeah, good set of Clarke, like I said. We got the set restart and that, but we managed it well on the front foot here.
So they come again, Toohey to Howlett, looks to wind up the carry, takes one to the half-back, looking for a quick play of the ball. Referee Lucas Seal on his debut, just letting things play out evenly in this opening 16 minutes, probably wise, just letting the game settle into a little bit of a rhythm. As Jubb at dummy half will wait to play the ball from Halliday. He moves it across the park to Staveley. Staveley with a short pass into Watts. Watts gathers hold of the ball just as two tacklers come in to take him on. Terrell's one of those in there. Jubb out back to Miller. Miller will kick from 40 yards out. High kick, just drifting in the breeze. Howlett gets on that end of that ball. Looks like it goes backwards. Referee says a knock on. And the game, as well as the atmosphere here, Jack, it's a tricky one. I think the level of expectation coming into this one, perhaps not high. A huge crowd last week, a big build-up to a bank holiday weekend clash against London Broncos that had a real feel to the atmosphere. And I think the way this game has gone in the opening 15 minutes, which you have to say has been relatively comfortable so far, the Vikings, it just means the whole thing has sort of settled into a bit of a calm rhythm. We almost need to feel a bit of intensity, don't we?
Yeah, we do, but I'm still looking, to be honest, on a Saturday, because it's not the best weather. It's still a good, decent crowd here. But yeah, it's one of them where you don't know what you're going to expect, but sometimes the crowd does get up more of like a more intense game, but this is building nicely. Just like I said, we're settling into it nicely.
See what comes as Watts comes crashing into the tackle. He'll be looking to make his mark in his 400th game. What a contributor he's been in his career over the last decade or so, with spells at Castleford. A couple of times he obviously started there, returned there after a period in Hull with both Hull Kingston Rovers and Hull FC, then back up the M62 to represent the Black and Whites again, and a brief stint in there with Gateshead as well, before finally coming here to play with the Goole Vikings, as Tyler Craig is replaced by another cast member of this Vikings fraternity, young Brad Bullock, on the field looking to wind up his first carry here, and there he is with those flowing locks. Brings a lot of energy. That's a great first carry from Brad Bullock. Good lad, and looking for the offload, can't quite find it. Well, that's the injection of energy we were looking for, wasn't it? Just giving his side a lift, and you just feel that now as they shape up a little bit in attack. Jubb moves his left hand side to Miller. Miller looking to go back down the line and waiting for options, nothing doing, but he'll keep going himself. Tomlinson into the line, just brushes one would-be tackler off. He comes back inside. Not the best shape to the Vikings attack here, so they'll look to see if they can organise some things here from Jubb at 9. Jubb looking to go himself, a little scurry from dummy half, and I think he might have got that one down. Referee says no, and that one's held up. So that's 3 tries chalked off so far in the match for the Vikings. 2 obviously scored already with a 10-0 lead. The Crusaders just hanging on, and we haven't seen as much of that from Will Jubb this year, but you'll remember from playing alongside him for a bit of a time up at York, that is when he's dangerous. 10-15 yards out, when he spots an opportunity, more often than not he'll look to take it, as Guzdeck feeds it out to left hand side to Halliday, and then the ref says forward pass. But yeah, that's where Jubby can be dangerous. Yeah,
Jubby's always probing, he's smart, he's strong, like I said, he knows what he's doing, but just need to be a bit more patient there. I think we could have maybe took the tackle and maybe gone for a repeat set, but it doesn't really matter as long as we get a good defensive set here. Try and keep them within the 40.
Just feels like perhaps Vikings are looking to force things a little bit as a big hit comes in from Staveley and Bully in there. He's imposed himself on the game in his opening exchanges, and that's what you like when some of the younger players in your squad can just bring you that little bit of enthusiasm. And the ball goes to ground, the referee says play on, it's gone backwards as Wheatley steps into the line. He's got a turn of pace, hasn't he? Looks lively, dynamic on his feet. Another one we might have to keep an eye on if there's a bit of broken field as they move the ball to the left hand side. Just looking to dent this Vikings line, but the defensive line steps up well as Bowie takes that tackle in there. Middle of the field now. Jubb making the tackles with Bullock again, keeping busy in the middle of the park. We're on the last, just up towards the halfway line. It'll be Dean to kick, and he just looks to hoist this ball high and long upfield. Tom Halliday is the man underneath it, takes it well, and will now look to return this one with interest. And no matter who you play, I know one thing that the Vikings have been focused on in recent weeks is just getting through the sets, being patient, trying to avoid what at times this year has been a high error and penalty count. And whilst it might not always be glamorous at this stage in the game, it's what earns you the right to play later in the match.
That's it, Clarke, that's it, like, hit the nail on the head. You've got to give yourself the best chance of being in the game, and sometimes this year that's been our downfall. We haven't been willing to stay patient, but we've shown.
Oh, nice ball from Miller inside to Ferris. Ferris breaks line. Can he find the offload? He can't. I think that ball almost went to ground. Gathered hold by Staveley. But another break there coming through from the Vikings as they come hunting once more. Miller slides the ball to Toohey. Toohey's going to take this into the line. Options either side, but he goes himself. Steps right, steps left. Dancing feet of Shane Toohey. Drops the ball into Jubb. Jubb now going himself. And you almost feel that at times they're almost overplaying a little bit, the Vikings, looking to perhaps win things themselves, where sometimes doing the basics often counts. As Miller will hoist his kick high on the last. Across the field towards Harmon, who leaps high. He gathers hold of the ball into the path of Guzdeck, and that's a really well executed try. Yeah. One thing that we'll see on that side of the field with a kick threat out there of Tomlinson, Barley, and that man Macca Harmon moving to the right centre spot for the first time this last couple of weeks. But he certainly gives you a kick threat. He got up high, caught that ball well, and Josh Guzdeck well placed on his return to the side after a calf injury. Last year's player of the season. He's over to score, and all due credit there to Macca Harmon. As we'll watch that replay, Jack, you can talk us through it, but he got up highest there, didn't he?
The thing what was impressive there was what Jubby's doing here. It was really like uncontrolled there, and Jubby could have forced the pass, but his experience, he took the tackle and realised that's what we needed. Give Jack Miller time to get set, and obviously that's just a bit of brilliance from Macca. Big tall rangy thing, jumped higher, good clean catch onto Guzzy. But yeah, for me, the best play in that was from Jubby there. Didn't panic, knew there was an out on, didn't force the pass, which usually sometimes that's what we have done, and that goes into an error. But Jubby there knew to take the tackle, and we'll get on the next play.
The thoughts of Vikings player Jack Aldous alongside me, James Clarke, here on Vikings TV. Your broadcast being brought to you by our sponsors Northern Retrofit, as Jack Miller notches the 2 more, a 16-0 lead with 23 minutes gone just under here at the Victoria Pleasure Grounds. And myself and Jamie in production, we're just before we went live today, we're just thinking, I wonder if we'll get the odd shower, and just looking away to our left-hand side, I think there's every chance, Jack. So I hope you've brought a brolly with you. I think it could get a little bit wild up here on the heights of our gantry position, as the Crusaders will look to get things restarted. If you're in that Crusaders camp, as what's been a really difficult week, and we've been giving them all the due credit they have, that they've managed to get this game on, and they've thrown a team together of a lot of lads who have probably never even met larger before training yesterday and the match today. What would you be saying in that camp as an experienced player? What are you looking from that Crusaders side today?
First thing I'd be saying is you just got to stick together. You know you've got some tough days ahead of you, some tough games, but you've just got to stick together. And like I said, hopefully things get sorted off the field and you've got better times to come. But the game is just about, they've already done well by taking to the field. So it's just sticking together and trying to get through the game.
Go out there and enjoy yourselves. So for some of these lads, express yourself at championship level and give yourselves a shot in the arm, because you never know what opportunities could come from this. As we were just listening to Jack there, more good build-up from Brad Bullock. He's been impressive since coming onto the field. Another good carry and earned his side a penalty. And Macca Harmon gets his team up to halfway as Jubb feeds Bully again. Nice leg speed, just charging onto the ball. He, just as we were talking earlier about just needing that little lift of energy and intent, and Bullock's definitely brought that, as Miller plays centre field, finds Tui out the back. Good combinations, Guzzi into the line, and that's a good read actually from the half-back there, Dean. He knew what was coming, positioned himself well, and made the tackle. Ferris, another one of the elder statesmen in this squad to notch up 400 appearances. There's 850-odd appearances between him and Liam Watts in that forward pack here today, and Jubb's contributed a fair few as well down the years, as Miller steps off his right foot, looks to come inside, taking the line on, which we haven't seen too much from Jack Miller doing that this season. Looks dangerous when he does. Tui on the right hand side, will he kick? He tries to, he nudges it in behind, the ball's skittly all over the place and will just drift dead. So it'll be a tap restart as Lucas Wheatley brings the ball forward and he'll get things back underway. And just there's a little bit to like about Lucas Wheatley. He just looks sprightly on his feet, looks like he's got a little bit of energy. It'd be good to see him get the ball in a bit more broken field and see what he can perhaps bring to this side as they come forward once again now down this right hand side. That's Will McArdle just carrying the ball in. Good defence coming in from Watts and Ferris. Vikings so far untroubled largely this afternoon. They've fronted up well defensively and they've shown some reasonable intent in attack, notching up 3 tries so far. As Bullock comes in to defend as well alongside his elder statesman Liam Watts. Centre field now, they just move that ball forward. It's, I think it was Charlie Tetley, the prop there, the youngster, brings that one forward. Dean again, moves to the right side to Wheatley, good Hanson, Wheatley into Leo Skerritt-Evans, he moves the ball out to the right hand side. That was good football from the Crusaders. They were unlucky there as referee waves play on, and Lewis Holgate is the winger down this right hand side. And I think is it Matty Lightfoot's come on the field there? It's hard to tell now because I think some of the shirt numbers have been swapped around, but we'll do the best we can. Probably the best signs we've seen from the Crusaders so far. On the last anyway, they look to hoist this kick high upfield from Bradley Billsborough. He's been around the block again, spent a little bit of time in the Crusaders setup, was their sort of third choice half-back, and has actually been working with St Helens, I understand, as well, off the field. And knows a little bit about the game, of course, as the Vikings come forward once more with Howlett. As the Northern Express thunders by in the background as Macca Harmon breaks the line and gets his side up towards halfway. Another good break from him, finding his feet in that centre position as Guzdek feeds it into Miller and he carries on the momentum, charging forward. The defence comes in, he's eventually put to ground. The Vikings have got the Crusaders retreating here and they've got a roll on as Jalen Hodgson's introduced at 9 and he moves the ball out to Staveley on the right hand side. Another tackle coming in as the pressure starts to build here for the Crusaders, defending their line away to our left hand side. Watts moves it, a little drop off from Miller. Ferris crashes into the line. Crusaders defending well. Hodgson now at dummy half, reviewing his options on the last. They'll come to the open side. He goes himself, Hodgson, darts through a gap in the line, takes a tackle, turnover in front of the sticks. Perhaps that time may be the wrong option, but still a good time, still a good place, should I say, Jack, to turn the ball over on the field of play.
Yeah, we ended it on our terms. Obviously we haven't scored, but still, it's where if you are going to turn it over, it's where you don't want to turn it over. You've got to back up with your defence now. You've got to get control of it, and it's a territory battle.
Well, here come North Wales Crusaders, slowly growing in confidence in this game. They move it down the line with Wheatley. Good tackle coming in once again from Bullock. Try so far this afternoon from Connor Barley, Shane Tui. And Josh Guzdeck and a couple ruled out as well in this first half. The score could easily be more, but the Crusaders are fronting up well. They're making a fist of it as best as they can, with just under half an hour played at the pleasure ground so far. Kick up field from Billsborough, horrible spiral bomb drifting in the breeze. It's going to skip and it's going to roll. An unfortunate bounce there. On these artificial pitches, it can go one way or another for you, and unfortunately for the Crusaders, probably not what they wanted. Better signs from the visitors, sort of growing in confidence in this last 5 minutes. Considering they've been thrown together, they're fronting up and doing their bit for that Crusaders badge as they look to reassert themselves as a new force in the Championship. Of course, League One champions, easy to forget from last season. Had an impressive year, actually played against the Vikings on 3 occasions, winning 2 of those matches. As Conor Barley breaks through the line, good break from him, and he's got some pace here to try and step away from Wheatley, and he will. And the little goose step will get himself home to touch the ball down. That's a lovely solo try from Conor Barley. It's his 15th of the season. He has been impressive this year. Easily the Vikings' top try scorer. He's in for another. And that one, Jack, whilst before it was all team stuff, that was a lovely bit of brilliance from Conor Barley.
Yeah, Conor, for me, him and Cooper, for me, hands down, our best players this season. You know they're reliable. They're going to get you out. They're going to do all the tough carries for you. They're going to get you out the trouble. And like I said, big, strong athlete. You don't realise how big Conor is until you stood next to him. And in pre-season with him, like tackling him, he's very solid built. And look at the size of him.
Yeah, he's been impressive this year. Second try of the game, 15th of the season. He's been a decent signing for the Vikings, and no doubt will be courting attention of many other Championship and possibly even Super League time. The one-time Super League player. Obviously made his debut with Hull Kingston Rovers back in 2018 in a match against Wigan Warriors, as Jack Miller steps up right-footed, and that one looks good. Oh, commentator's curse, it's drifted wide in the breeze. So a 20-0 lead. But in reality, Jack, could have been a lot more. 2 conversions missed, 3 tries ruled out. The Vikings very much in control here in these opening first half.
Yeah, and it's a big game for us. It's been an up and down season. We've had some big wins and then some good performances, but this is a big game for us. Like, this is about us building some confidence. And like I said, we've still plenty of games left in the season. I said it's important we get this one in the bank.
You can just feel the weather turning. You can probably hear it here as well. As even on our pitches, you'll see that it's just greying over a little bit. Hopefully the rain won't come to damage this one, as the referee says knock on. It looks like the ball possibly went backwards, but still should have dealt with that one. And the Crusaders, probably for the first time in this opening half an hour, will get the first opportunity to have a go at the Vikings line. Scrum down, head and field to the Welsh outfit from Colwyn Bay, who have made the journey up here this afternoon. And a few Crusaders fans jumping on the team coach, I understand. And if you are watching elsewhere in the country this afternoon, perhaps at home as a Crusaders fans, thank you for joining us. And we hope you get to see your team back in action anytime soon. As they move it to the right-hand side, Wheatley comes out the back, looks to slide the ball across field to the right winger, Lewis Holgate, takes the tackle from Tom Halliday. They move the ball across the park again with Dean. He's been influential so far. Leo Scarrett-Evans crashes into the line. Former Castleford junior. The ball's come loose in the tackle, bounces off Brett Ferris, and Brad Bullock catches hold of the loose ball, let off for the Vikings.
Yeah, he was defending it well, but obviously a bit of impatience from them, and Brad was in the right place, and that's it. We survived it.
That'll be disappointing for Sean Long, the coach of the North Wales Crusaders, down to our right-hand side. Of course, the namesake of a one-time superstar in the world of rugby league, as Conor Barley looks to fend his man. Good hands from Tomlinson and Macca Harmon on that right-hand side. Tomlinson, of course, a Jamaica international, will be representing his country at the end of this season. He's currently doing some fundraising for the tour to help his side. Be good to see him represent his country once again. As Hodgson moves the ball left to Staveley. Staveley slides the ball out the back to Miller. Miller with a long cut-out pass to Howler, who can't quite keep hold of it, and the ball is knocked on. And that'll go to ground. And a little bit, as I was saying earlier, Jack, the match has just dropped into a bit of a rhythm where everything's just a little bit flat, a little bit scrappy. You almost want somebody just to grab hold of it, doesn't it?
It's no real rhythm to it, it stops starting. And these are the bits where you've got to be switched on, because it is hard to get some consistency in the stop-start, and your adrenaline goes down and your concentration goes down, but the best teams, that doesn't affect them, and we want to be one of them. And like I said, we've got to switch on here and straight into defence now.
So Crusaders play the ball. They move it across field to Billsborough. Billsborough pushes that ball out wide to Evan Rowlands, another member of this side who's had experience in the NCL. They moved it back across field. Bullock again, doing some of the busy work defensively. Big carry up the middle of the park from Charles Tetley. To be fair, I could murder a pint at half-time, to be fair, if you're doing the run down there, Jack. Rhys Dean moves it forward into the back row of McArdle as Crusaders come sniffing down this right-hand side. Dean feigns the drop-off, moves the ball inside. Crusaders showing a little bit of promise here as they start to gel, having not had too much time together on the field. Dean again on the ball, just runs himself, then looks to dink in behind, and he'll chase that kick down. A little bit of intrigue and intent there from Dean, which is good to see, but mopped up well by Josh Guzdeck, who, as an experienced fullback, you're going to do well to catch him out there. As Halliday, local boy, brought up in Goole, of course, a bit of a famous face in this part of the world. You can't miss him, that is for sure. As Tui steps out of dummy half and feeds Harmon, just starting to get a bit of a roll. And he's had some joy, hasn't he, Harmon, down that right-hand side, carrying the ball. That's where his size kicks in. Nice 6'3" frame. Stand-off centre, can play a little bit of loose forward. He's even played a bit of full-back in his youth, coming through academy and reserve level. As Hodgson steps forward at 9 into Staveley. Staveley's been good today, he's been involved in a lot of things. Miller, short pass, Ferris crashes into the line. Former Huddersfield Giants man, of course, where he won the minor premiers. Had an excellent career. Miller in the line, we're on the last, he'll kick in behind. Howlett chasing down, Wheatley's well placed, and he manages to dip under the tackle. He's dragged into touch as he looks to release the ball, and that will be head and feed to the Vikings. And I actually thought, to be fair, Wheatley was a little bit unlucky there as he dipped under that tackle. Perhaps the referee might have thought on another day could have gone for the high shot, but as it is, advantage to the Vikings. Five minutes to play here, just towards the break, and rather foolishly should have put the extra layers on, as you can feel the breeze swirling around the commentary box here. Our production staff, I say production staff, Jamie, stood next to us here on the camera in his shorts and cap, which I can only say is a little bit of wishful thinking, as Staveley gets things back underway. Been an impressive performer in the first half. He does have a big carry on him, big strong body, gets his side within 5. Hodgson, Tui, Miller, Guzdeck, great hands from the Vikings. Hadley will come inside, and this is a good try from the home side, finished in the end by local boy Tom Halliday. Another try for him. Great build-up from the Vikings, and that was a fluid team move. It was well put together, good shape, had to execute, but they did it absolutely right. They extend the lead by 4 points, 24 points to 0, with a kick to come.
Yeah, they're the tries you want to see. Brilliant textbook move. They're the ones that make the coaches happy. You like the individual brilliance ones, but they're the ones that you practice on in the weeks. Everyone was on point. The execution was brilliant, and Tom, good finish.
Yeah, did well, trying to get his side that little bit nearer the post to make the kick that bit easier in the breeze. Thought he'd perhaps left himself with a bit of work to do, but he gets the ball down, and he's been desperate for that, hasn't he? Tom Halliday's been in and out the side, not managed to find too much rhythm, not scored as many points as he perhaps would have liked, but he'll be delighted to cross the whitewash in front of his home fans there, as Miller lines up this kick. There should be a little bit more of a formality this one for us, and he strikes it well. It does drift in the breeze, you can actually see how strong that wind is, but he makes no mistake from there. 26 points to 0. The Vikings lead now as we approach the half-time. Who stood out for you so far, Jack, as we approach the interval?
Who stood out for me? Nick's been involved. Brad Bullock, he's done exactly what you need off your bench players. Come on, lifted it. Macca, Connor, but yeah, I think I'll be going to Bullock up for now. He stood out the most for me.
Absolutely agree. Full of energy and a terrific member of this Vikings side. One day we're actually hoping we'll get up in the commentary box, but he's enjoying his run in the side. He had to wait patiently to get his debut earlier this year, and he's impressed in recent weeks, and he takes another good carry there. What a contribution he's making here this afternoon, making his mark as Hodgson moves it to Staveley. Good tackle coming in there from Tetley in the middle of the park. Bit of help coming in from Terrell as well, former Fato Heath man. Tomlinson, no, in fact Jalen goes himself. Cousin of Josh Hodgson, of course, his brother Bailey playing up in Super League at Lee. Tui looks to go himself. Good tackle made. Nice little personal battle between those two going on as Hodgson steps out of 9, feeds it into Staveley. Right on cue, Staveley and Bullock doing all the work just after Jack's picked them out. Hodgson will look to send this to the right. Miller kicks in behind. High kick. It's just looping and moving in that wind. The guff. James Farrell looks to take it, he knocks on, and it looks a tricky one, that, Jack, I have to say. I mean, we've got our commentary notes here in front of us, and you can see the birds in the breeze, you can see the papers wafting, and sometimes when you're watching on the pitches at home, you don't quite get that full experience, but that ball is drifting. There's not much cover here at the pleasure grounds, and they can be tough ones to take.
Yeah, no, they're tough. No matter what level they're tough to take them, and like I said, it's all about timing, but it is hard, even harder in this weather, but good position for us now. We've got to build a bit of pressure, try, if not, at least a repeat set of do.
So scrum down, head and feed to the Vikings. Tui, the referee, he's actually had a good game. We mentioned earlier it's referee Lucas Seale's first game in the Championship, but he's done what we always ask referees to do, which is just blow the whistle when you have to and just let the game flow. And the sign of a good ref. He's a second-year student at Leeds Beckett University, and hopefully enjoying his afternoon here. As Harmon comes to the right-hand side, finds the pass to the corner for Barley. Great ball, great finish, a hat-trick for Conor Barley. It's his 16th of the season. More great build-up from Macca Harmon. The Vikings extend their lead. It's another 4 points. It's 30 up for the hosts with a kick to come.
Yeah, that was good for Macca. Do you know what? He has been struggling getting in the team in the halves, but he might have found a second home here at centre, because that was textbook centre play, up, skip round, hand off, create a 2-on-1 with your winger. That was textbook of Macca, and he's a big, strong athlete that we've already mentioned. And
a nice flick pass to suit as well, which is a nice bit of skill to execute. As we watch it back on the replay, the pass out the back door, nice step inside from Barley, who's over once again. And, the young man's enjoying himself, isn't he? It's another try to his name this season. And whether he's playing left centre, right centre, across either wing, you can't stop Conor Barley this season as Miller lines this one up from the far side of the field. Going to be a tough one from out there. I'm not sure it's one Jack Aldous would be backing himself to kick. Have you kicked one in your career? I can't think if you have you?
I don't think I have, to be honest. I might have had a go at one. Or maybe 100 or 450 if I might have been let it go. But
what, missed?
Yeah, You'd have known about it if I'd have got it.
That is for sure. And of course your brother Harry playing alongside you, not in the side today, was named in the squad, but not playing today. I think he's just he's been managed through. He's a bit of a Rolls Royce, your younger brother, isn't he? So we have to look after him.
He has, like I said, he's played a lot of minutes and a lot of games, and that's one of the things we've got good this year, a bigger squad, and you don't realise how good that is, really, giving people a chance to have a little break out. It's a long season. We want a good back end second half of the year, so he's going to enjoy that. He'll be better off for it.
So Tui feeds this ball into Bullock. Bullock just drives one in, finds his front again. Good meters. As the half-time hooter sounds here, right on cue. And a good first half for the Vikings. Somewhat as a formality, perhaps expected. All credit to the Crusaders, though. They've come out fighting. They've done their absolute best here, and you've got to give them every credit in the world for getting this game on here this afternoon and fronting up in the way they have. But it's been all Vikings. One-way traffic, the home side leading at the interval with tries. A hat-trick from Conor Barley, who continues his exhilarating form in the black and red. Shane Tui's cross, a nice try from Josh Guzdek after an assist from Macca Harmon leaping high in the air. Tom Halliday crossing too before that late try we just saw again. It's Barley crossed to complete his hat-trick. The thoughts of Vikings forward Jack Aldous alongside me here in the commentary box. Your thoughts on the first half, Jack?
Yeah, good. Like we said, it started good for us, and it got that middle bit where it got a bit sloppy. But looking at the first try here, good shape again, good ball. Yeah, and like I said, you're not stopping Conor from there. That's what he's built for. And good finishes. But no, we started well. It got a bit stale in the middle, but then we've ended it just exactly how we'd want. I think it'll be a positive team talk from Scott at half-time.
Continuing our look through the tries in this first half, as Staveley, who's been impressive, combined with Shane Tui and footwork and speed, agility from there. He takes some stopping when you give him that much room on the field, which really put the Vikings in control after 10 minutes, having already had 2 tries ruled out at this point. Once again, the pressure building on the last. This was a nice piece of play, Jack, with Miller finding Josh Guzdek. Yeah,
good kick from Miller. Like I said, Macca jumped, athleticism. Nice finish from Guzzi.
He'll be happy with that one after returning from the side today from a calf injury. More good build-up from deep here from the Vikings to extend the lead on the half-an-hour mark with a bit of individual brilliance from Barley, breaking the line and racing away to score. Another try that took some finishing for his second of the afternoon as he continues this rich vein of form he is in. He's been impressive in recent weeks. And then this was a well-orchestrated team try as they moved the ball swiftly down the field. Good hands. Guzdeck chiming in from fullback, feeding Tom Halliday, the local boy who darted inside. And the final try of the half, Jack, again, Macca Harmon involved.
Yeah, we talked about him a bit. Like I said, he's big, he's strong, he's athletically built, and this is just textbook centre play. Up, skips, hand off, flick pass, that's it.
Nice try from Conor Barley. So that is the story of the first half. There could have easily been another 3 tries that were ruled out here today in this first period as the clouds, the doom and the overcast sky runs over, but it's done little to dampen the enthusiasm for the Vikings home support here, who lead convincingly at half-time. Second half coverage to come on Vikings TV in partnership with Northern Retrofit. Welcome back to the Victoria Pleasure Grounds for the second half commentary of the Goole Vikings versus the North Wales Crusaders in the Betfred Championship. The Vikings well in control in this match after an exciting and enjoyable first half. Perhaps not quite the classic, but in control all the same, scoring some great tries. James Clarke with you alongside Vikings forward Jack Aldous, and second half coverage to come here in association with Northern Retrofit, wherever you're listening around the world on Vikings TV, brought to you by the Lounges TV platform, as Crusaders will get first blood with the ball in hand. And the eagle-eye Jack Aldous has actually spotted something here that has obviously been in his head for a number of weeks, but the beauty of this ground at the minute here, quite open, and the Vikings run it as a bit of a fan engagement, and the fan park you can see on camera, but it does mean you've got that traditional terraced housing overlooking the pitch, and Jack has spotted in the far side, perhaps the cameras will pick him up a bit later, the bald head of an eagle-eyed spectator watching on from what looks like probably his bathroom, and he can actually from there, the breakthrough in the middle of the park here as McArdle carries the ball upfield, he moves it inside, outside to Wheatley, the fullback, good cover tackle coming in from Tom Halliday to make it there. We'll come back to our eagle-eyed spectator in a minute as the Crusaders come sniffing after a half-time team talk. They move it to Bilsborough. He slides this left field as Tui comes in to make the tackle. Stavely in there as well as this attack just stalls just a little bit with Bowie on the last. Lively start from the visitors. They move it to left-hand side. Dean comes round the back and Guzdek's well placed to mop that up and we'll get it clear. Lively signs from the away team. I can't quite see your man, Jack, but hey, we should be heading around there and charging a season ticket, I think, for that man.
He'll be there. I've got Ben Dent to thank. He spotted out to me, and then he's back.
Oh, there he is. In fact, he is. We'll in the next break in play, we'll try and pick him out above the conservatory and embarrass him into buying a season ticket on Vikings TV. He might even be listening to the broadcast. If he is, we'll get him to give us a wave. Look at that. Yeah, he has. He's up there with the binoculars. Outstanding stuff from him. Can charge him a ticket as Miller kicks on the last. Long kick upfield, it'll just bounce once, skip into touch, and as you were saying earlier, whilst it might not be what all the fans want to see perhaps up there, a nice patient build. So Jamie's doing his bit on camera to see if he can pick him out. There he is. Eagle-eyed spot, great work from Jamie the cameraman, and if that is you there, you know, worth the admission price alone. We'll be charging him 10 quid. Going to go around and work out who he is. What a man. Let's get a shirt on him. We'll make him... that could be our new commentary box. Might be a bit warmer up there, Jack.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, you're only getting half the pitch, though. That's the thing. So as far as he's concerned, the Vikings have scored a lot of tries in this half. It might not be quite the same in the second period. Anyway, back to more important matters on the field. As the Crusaders get the ball back in hand. As we said earlier in the first half, been a testing week for them, and you've got to give them all the credit in the world for travelling up here today. Players coming from all over the place, different teams, different countries, different leagues, in fact, a few amateurs on the field here today. But considering they've never really played together, I have to say credit to them. They've had a real crack, and they've made a decent fist of it. Started this half brightly, you have to say as well, as Terrell carries this ball forward, the loose forward. He's actually been one of their better players, you would say, in the opening 40 minutes. As Dean looks to kick this one, but it's sliced off the outside of the foot, and that's not what the Crusaders would have wanted there. It'd been a bright start for them, but the ball goes out on the full, and this is just going to invite pressure now for the first time from the Vikings, and this is a little bit what you were trying to say to us, Jack, that sometimes that patience starts to a game. Get yourself in the arm wrestle, you almost force the other side into chancing their arm, trying something a little bit different, and all of a sudden you're then in the ascendancy, and that's when you can start to do the fancy stuff.
Yeah, that's it. It resets at half time, so you've done your first half and that's it now, so it's back to building pressure now. We don't have to score straight away. Yeah, if you get a clear-cut opportunity you want it, but you're under no pressure to do that.
Back to one as Hodgson carries this ball up the middle of the park, takes the tackle. Tetley, the man in there. Tui, dummy half, crossfield to Stavely in front of the post. Goes hunting, gets tackled well by Leo Skerritt-Evans, former Castle Tigers man. Been playing at Keighley this year, but not had much of a chance. Miller, Guzdek, hands into Howlett. First try of the second half for the Vikings, and another good finish for Cooper Howlett. Him and Connor Barley have been the pick of the players this season, scoring tries for fun, and the Australian is over. It's another try for the black and whites, the red and black, should I say, and a good finish there for Cooper Howlett. As old habits die hard for me there, Jack, and for the pair of us. We've both started our careers up the road here in the M62, and I'll let you talk us through the commentary replay.
Yeah, good shape again, one of them training ground moves, patience. Miller digs into the line, feeds Guzzi, and Guzzi just ties his man up, and you've got Cooper doing what he needs to do, set a good line.
You mentioned earlier having a little bit of strike on each edge for the Vikings, something that perhaps was lacking last year, but we've got some centres either side of the field now that can carry a ball, can finish, got size, got pace, and it does make a big difference in your three-quarter lines. Probably, arguably, other than your halfbacks, one of the most crucial positions on the field where it can make a real big difference to your team if you've got some talent out wide. Yeah,
we look at the size of them now, the game has changed. Your middles used to be the biggest, but now you look at the size of your centre wings, the way they're built, and they're probably the biggest players on the field. And every game we've played in this year, Cooper and Connor, they've competed with opposite centres and no one's been really able to contain them, so it just shows how good they are.
Another kick missed from Jack Miller. Unfortunately for him, the wind has been playing havoc with his kicking here today. His Crusaders will get us underway again. Decent first 5 minutes for the Vikings.
Yep, that's it. Good start, bit of a rocky start, but they've got into it and hopefully we'll kick on from here.
So we'll get us back underway. The all-white kit, the change kit for the Crusaders. Normally playing red, of course. As Tyler Craig takes another big carry. He's been good, as Tyler. Your mate from over the York way.
Yeah, played my full career with Tyler, pretty much York to Newcastle, bit in the amateur game, and like I say, it's good that we're here together now.
Hodgson feeds Bullock. Another middle, front rower, takes good carry, makes some valuable metres for his side. Hodgson waits, he'll look to play the ball into Staveley. Staveley moves it out the back to Toohey. Toohey to Keenan Tomlinson. Good defence as the Crusaders get up quick. Billsbury, the halfback, making the tackle. Hodgson looks to run himself. He skips to the left-hand side. He's got runners coming onto the ball in Guzdeck. Bit of a shoulder charge coming in there, you'd have said, from a Crusaders man, but the referee waves play on. We're on the last. Here's Miller. Kicks it high. Crusaders are underneath it. Good take from James Farrow, the winger, under pressure from Makaharman, who makes the tackle, and the Crusaders are going to have to come off their own line again here with Wheatley. And that's another good patient set from the hosts.
Yeah, that's it. Good kick from Miller. Put him in that box in the corner, and that's it. You've got to back your defence out. Be disciplined, that's it. Try and get him kicking from the 30, 40, then it comes into the territory battle.
All about territory. It's like a patient game of chess at times, isn't it? Which, having met some of your teammates, I'm not sure some of them could master chess, to be brutally honest. But
maybe Ben Dent, that's it.
Very much so, very much. Don't know if Dent is here today, not see him actually. In and around the place, was named in the squad, but not in the 17 today. Alex Holdstock missing out as well.
That's what we're talking about, Clarke. Now we've got good defensive set, and now in one carry we're over halfway line. That's what the game's built on now. Territory, not making errors, just backing your D, and that's it.
Earn the opportunity, earn the right to attack the opposition line. And we talk about squad players. A shout out to Jack Arnold, who I understand is watching this afternoon as well. He's had a bit of a nasty arm injury, so we wish him well. And they've also had some good news, a bit like Tyler Craig earlier. They've got an expectant family member on the way as well, so life will soon change for Jack Arnold soon enough as Staveley comes forward. A little inside ball to Bullock. Bullock takes the tackle. Good defensive effort coming in from the Crusaders there to hold him up, and that's what you've got to really commend Crusaders here. They've been struggling, but they're fighting for everything. They're showing some real pride in going out there and representing the side today. You can't take anything away from the effort the Welsh side have put in today. Brilliant to see. Hodgson moves it left to Toohey. Toohey to Miller. Miller down the line to Guzdeck. Guzdeck with fast hands into Howlett, and that is a well orchestrated, simple try. Cooper Howlett over for his second of the match. The Vikings extend their lead to 40 points to 0 with a kick to come.
Yep, exactly what we saw the previous play. Got into a good setup, good shape once again. Everyone knowing the roles, timing on point, execution on point, and finished off with a good line off Cooper.
Carbon copy, like you say. And Cooper Howlett looking to catch up with Connor Barley. They've been the ones to score the tries this year. A hat-trick in the first half for Connor Barley, and perhaps a hat-trick on the way in the second half for Cooper Howlett. We know his family like to watch as well, so perhaps listening this afternoon on the other side of the world. If you are, hello to the Howlett clan, who have become very vocal, supportive members on social media, haven't they? I think they've got the sort of Cooper Howlett fan club from what I've seen. So good to have them with us. And he's been not only a good contributor to the club, but working in the local community as well. He spends quite a lot of his week working at the local special needs school, Riverside School, a place I know very, very well, having had family work there for over the last 30 years or so. And they tell me he does a sterling job down there. So doing his bit in the community, as well as on the field, Cooper Howlett, which is great to see. as he slides home there, as we see that replay again for his second of the match. And the Vikings well and truly in control of this encounter now at 42 points to 0 after Jack Miller slots the extras. 50 minutes played, and we were just speaking at half-time, weren't we, Jack, and saying this is perhaps, with all due respect to the opposition on the field, this is perhaps where in this second half, for the first time maybe this year, and perhaps even since the Vikings were formed, this is one of those halves where you almost want to see them be ruthless now.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need it for confidence. Like I said, it's been a good season, but it has been inconsistent, and this is what we want.
Staveley, up the middle of the park, playing in that loose forward role today, and that's where he can be a handful, looking to release that ball. The defence comes in, referee called held, just moving back 4 or 5 extra metres. Tyler Craig crashes into the line, good carry from him. The Vikings just making extra metres now, finding the front, punching holes in this tiring Crusaders defence as Hodgson goes himself inside ball to Miller. Miller was supporting well. Everything had been done right up until catching the ball, knock on, and that's a turnover now for the Crusaders and probably a let-off for the visitors.
Yeah, I mean, we did everything we needed to do, apart from that last bit. I think Jack could have wished he could maybe get that back, but we're on to the next. So that's rugby league, it doesn't stop you, on to the next thing now, and it's a team sport. You get Jack out that little bit of a mess, and that's it, you defend.
That'd have been done Miller the world of good there for his confidence as well. Been a little bit in and out the side in recent weeks, but he backed up that break from Jalen Hodgson really well, and if he'd have caught hold of that ball, I think we'd have seen him in to score there. There was the try line at his mercy, and it was a lovely break from Jalen Hodgson. He just, little deft hands, just feinted at the line, just caught the marker off guard and bang, through a gap. And yeah, that's where he's dangerous. Smacker Harmon makes the tackle as the Crusaders look to come forward. Desperately trying to earn some metres for the side, not really going anywhere in this early part of the set. They move it across field. Another big carry coming in from Terrell. He's been very busy in and around. 5th interchange made for Crusaders, so they're burning through those as well with half an hour still to play. And I'm sure there'll be 1 or 2 tired legs out there as well, Jack, players that haven't played at this level, perhaps haven't played for a number of weeks, and it does take it out of you. As Dean moves it to the right-hand side from McCardle, they move it out to the right winger, Holgate. He's tackled. Go to ground, just over halfway, on the last, kick to come, and it'll be Dean again. Kicks it across field, the breeze grabs hold of it, it drifts back inside, comfortable catch in the end for Harmon. As Jack Aldis, our summariser, was saying this afternoon, look where the Vikings are starting their set-off. And you mentioned earlier, Jack, he's not looked out of place at centre, carrying the ball tough, showed some nice skill. Other than that little kick earlier where he just dripped it out in the full, he's had a really good game as Harmon. Yeah,
big, strong athlete, like I said, you can put him in pretty much any position, and you know you've got what you're going to get from him. But for me, that came from Brett for every start. It's the little stuff what you don't really see, but the kick pressure from Brett then, that forced them into a poor kick, and that's what resulted in Macca catching it in good field position for us.
And you watch Brett, you tell at times around the field, don't you, that he knows when he has to do things, he knows when he can give himself a little bit of a breather, you know, that old wily fox. But those little 1%ers, those little things that perhaps when you've had 40 years out there playing, you understand when and where to do things.
Brett knows what he's doing, like I said, and that's why he's had a career.
Oh, Miller breaks the line this time. High tackle coming in. He finds the ball out there. Oh, that's a horrible shot from the back. Jalen Hodgson going to continue. Fair play for him for trying, but that was a bit of a nasty one coming in from behind there, from the interchange. Jamie Fozzard. There was a certain other Fozzard used to throw a few collisions in like that back in the day, wasn't there?
Yeah,
with every form of padding that you'd have found on his body. He'd have been proud of that one, and it was a shame. It was a nice little break up the middle by Miller as well. Good tackle on him as Bullock comes to the line, comes charging through, trying to do it all himself, and he deserves a try for his performance so far this afternoon here at the Pleasure Grounds on Vikings TV. The Vikings move it left to Toohey. Toohey to Miller, that left-hand side combining very well in this second half as Gusdek strides for the line. Tackle comes in from Wheatley. I think McCardle was in there as well, and Miller goes himself, spins and pirouettes. Does he get that one down? I think he has. We look to the referee, the try is given. Miller finally gets over, he's huffed, he's puffed, and he's finally broken the door down. Lively few minutes for him, and he gets the try, and the Vikings extend the lead again. 46 points to 0 now, 53 minutes on the clock, with a kick to come.
Yeah, good from Jack. I say the set before, probably was a bit disappointed with that, but there, he's done himself proud. Good vision, like I said, he knew what he was doing. Got the try.
I think it was almost a scoot of determination and frustration, wasn't it? I think he's probably looked at the 2 moments before and he's just desperate to get that ball down.
Yeah.
And he's missed a few kicks today as well, so he's probably feeling like he's had a bad day at the office, and that'll have made him feel 10 times better. Had he have notched up those conversions, the Vikings would have been well past 50 by now. But they're just lining this one up, and I think, well, you'd like to say get him from here, but as we've seen, it's been rather breezy here this afternoon in East Yorkshire and Goole. We had a lovely morning, sun was shining, glorious, warm, and then sod's law, just as we come stand up in this high TV gantry, freezing cold and cloudy as he kicks that one, no mistake this time. And I think the battle's going to be on, isn't it, Jack, between whether this match finishes or that rain comes. Either way, we're getting down that ladder as fast as possible. Jamie next was our cameraman, production staff. He knows he's got a bit of packing up to do, and he has basically got everything covered and bagged up here. So that gives you an idea of what we're preparing for. Big storm clouds are brewing away to our left-hand side. But so far, nothing to worry about for the Vikings, as they're well in control in this match, leading 48 points to 0. And we've still got a good 24 minutes to play. As Jack Elders was saying earlier, eager to see his teammates keep the hammer down and be ruthless as they go short with the kick-off. It's a nice effort. It bounces off the foot of Farron. I think they have got hold of this one as Billsborough gets hold of it and comes forward himself. Bit of ingenuity from the visitors. And they'll be desperate to get themselves over for a try here to give their travelling supporters something to cheer about on what has been a frustrating and challenging week for them. And as we keep saying, all due respect and credit to them for getting this game on. As Terrell comes close, Bullock in there to make a tackle with Hodgson. The Vikings players holding them up at the line. Crusaders will be desperate to try and challenge the line here. They're going to move it left. Billsborough steps off the left foot, moves it back across field. Tetley charging the ball in. I don't think he's gone off today, Tetley. He's played some big minutes through the middle of the park. He tries to get that ball down, just a yard short of the line. They're looking to go themselves. I think it's Billsborough, the hooker, Jamie, that is. He gets close, he's held up, and the Crusaders will try and come once more. Probably their best spell of the game so far here for the visitors. Let's see what they've got. Options both sides of the field. Skerritt Evans in there at dummy half. Moves it to Terrell. Terrell out the back to Billsborough. Billsborough's got Wheatley coming around the back on the run around, but that ball's been knocked on. And do you know what? That's where you can't criticise this Crusaders side, Jack. To try and put it in context for people who are watching and listening, this is a group of players who have never played together before. I understand have trained once this week, not even the full team. So while some of that, perhaps when you're used to watching the amount of rugby league we are, you think some of those basic shakes are elementary, but when you've not run with teams and you've not had a chance to put the players on and you don't know who's going to be inside or outside of you, you know, it really is difficult for these lads.
Yeah, it is a tough gig, and like you said, they are up against it and they'll be better for it, but when you strip rugby league back, it just comes down to the two basics: run hard and tackle hard. And when you play rugby league, you know you can do that. So it's a tough sport, and like I said, they're going to be better for it, but the main thing for them is just stick together and they'll have better days to come.
They certainly will. Tomlinson carries that ball forward, former Dewsbury man. He's played across the back row this year in both centre positions. Howlett with a big carry. He's enjoying himself in this second half, isn't he? A couple of tries to his name since the interval. Halliday carries forward. And a set restart. As you said earlier, Jack, the Vikings are earning these opportunities by just working their way through the sets in the game, doing all the basics really well as Bullock crashes into the line. Big minutes for him this afternoon as well, and worth every penny of those minutes today. Been excellent. Hodgson to Miller. Miller moves it to Tyler Craig on the break. Tyler Craig through the line. Bit of a collector's item for him. He moves it to left-hand side to Tui. It's a lovely try. The big man, Tyler Craig. Well, it was like watching him back in his days of playing out in the centres. A lovely break through the line. And do you know what? I'm rather disappointed he gave it to Shane there. I thought he might have gone himself. But the Vikings get another 4 points. A 50 up for the host. 52 points to 0. And Jack Miller will add, hopefully, another 2. Your old mate looking lively.
Yeah, you don't get them as much as he used to do back in the days when he was centre or wing. So I thought he'd have been a bit greedy then and gone for it himself. But no, he's honest, and like I said, he did the right thing.
If you watch it back here, it's a lovely little inside-out line, and he charges through with a bit of speed for the big man. And I actually think he's on. I think he could have gone himself, but yeah, he's unselfish. Puts Tui away. Tui's second of the game. Tyler,
for me, pound for pound, he's probably one of the most skillful players I've played with. Back in the day when he was at in Newcastle, and like I said, Dennis Betts thought highly of him. He's very, very skillful. He's just a bit bigger than he used to be now, so I say he's bumped up into the pack.
Well, Miller adds the conversions. The flag goes up. Another 2 points on the scoreboard. And Bullock comes off the field. He's had a really good stint, Bradley Bullock. Castleford Junior. And Will Jubb is reintroduced with his Vikings headgear on. And I think we'll see Jalen Hodgson probably move up to 13 now. And And to be honest, the way Jalen Hodgson's played at 13 this year, that's probably the last thing the Crusaders wanted to hear as well, because he's lively in that role and he brings an energy and he's lively, he's dynamic, and he just opens gaps in the line. And when you're a tired defensive side, probably one of the last things you need to see playing as that extra pivot.
Yeah, no, we're lucky to have him in. Like I said, he's explosive, and we're lucky to have some good hookers, but we can switch.
They look to go short off the kick-off again. Keenan Tomlinson's under this one. That ball just drifting a little bit too long in the breeze. So they handle it well. He gets the offload away, but referee had called held. So we're just going to pull this one back to the play of the ball. The crowd just come flat again here, as it's a little bit chilly, a little bit breezy. Quite a few people, I think, have opted to perhaps leave early here, Jack, as well, when I look at the numbers to the far side. Perhaps the cold's got the better of them. Although, yeah, you're right, a few have gone down that end as well to see them attacking. See a few more tries come in. As the ball drifts past us into touch in this commentary box, Jack almost eager to get his hands on that one, as the Vikings will get this ball back underway. You're watching Vikings TV, brought to you by the Lounges TV platform and our sponsors, Northern Retrofit. Big thank you to those guys, and of course big thank you to you for tuning in this afternoon as well, wherever you may be. And a special mention to those Crusaders fans, as we say, wherever you are in the country today. As Tyler Craig makes another break on that left edge, moves it to the right hand side to Ferris. 2 old-timers connecting. Ferris still coming forward. Howlett on the inside. He decides to, well, I was going to say take the tackle, but he's managed to get that ball free just before. Shane Toohey comes hunting. Nothing really doing there, so he goes back himself on the left-hand side. Skips round 2. He's going to go himself. Shane Toohey. Toohey to the line. Toohey for a hat-trick. The Vikings extend their lead. It's another 4 points, and it's 58 points to 0. The Vikings are being ruthless.
Yeah, Shane, like I said, in broken play, very hard to stop. Like I said, we saw him in pre-season, we knew what we could do. Like I said, that raw talent which you can't really teach, so it was hard for him to stop him from there.
It was almost out of nothing as well. When you watch the replay back, the attack had sort of died down a little bit. He was almost looking to take the tackle, and then suddenly that dynamic step off the right foot, left foot, goes in and around the centre and goes to touchdown in the corner. And he's not been involved in too much today, Shane Toohey, but he's one of those players that just drifts in and out of the game, and you just give him that inch, buff, he's going to punish you. And he's enjoyed himself there. And all again coming from another big break from Tyler Craig on that left-hand side. The right-hand edge has struggled in this second period for the Crusaders, and when you've got the likes of Ferris, Craig, Howlett charging away at you, it's difficult to defend against, as Miller lines this one up to bring up the points to 60. As the scoreboard ticks over for 1 for the Crusaders, so a bit of wishful thinking I think there perhaps, as Miller stripes it right-footed, and the flags go up again, so he's found his kicking boots. 60 points up inside 60 minutes, and a point a minute, Jack. I think you'd have taken that before this game.
Yeah, like I said, this performance, it's all about us. You can only play what's in front of you, and it's going to be a good confidence builder. And I said I'm going to take it into the rest of the second half of the season.
So the Crusaders looking tired now. Been a tough game for them. They'll be looking to just perhaps even up this contest a little bit, just get back into that arm wrestle, get through some sets themselves. Will they go short here, or will they just kick this one long? Let's have a look. So they're going to drill this one flat and low, try and test Tomlinson, but he's equal to that one, and he'll just return this ball back into the line. The defensive efforts are good again from the Crusaders. Good kick chase, bit of line speed about them, bit of energy. As the 2 legs are knotted up in the tackle, that's all a bit messy and needlessly so. Jubb to Barley. Barley crashes into the line, been a bit quieter in this second half, having crossed for a hat-trick in the first. Jubb again. Watts reintroduced, but he misses him out. Jalen Hodgson into Tyler Craig. He's playing in that prop forward role. He's been very wide, almost like a back rower. And I think he's enjoying himself there. He was until he took that hit anyway. As Watts crashes into the line, takes this one forward. 3 men in the tackle. Do well to hold him up. Plays the ball with Jubb, goes down the short side to Miller. They've got the extra man with Ferris. Ferris through the line. He's got Jack Miller on his inside, but he'll take the tackle, goes to ground. Good defence in the end just from McArdle, his opposite number in the back row. Jubb feeds it to Miller. Miller's going to kick to the right-hand side of the field. That ball's going to catch in the breeze. Wheatley's underneath it. It's a tough one, but he took it well. And he'll look to try and skip away from Harmon here, and he does. But Barley will wrestle him down, and they're tackled inside the 10. And once again, the visitors are going to have to come out of their own half. And the pressure is building, because you can just see the tiring bodies. They're slow to get back, Jack. And the Vikings are perhaps sensing blood a little bit here, but Crusaders come forward once more.
Well, this is where we need to put into practice what's going to get you through any game of rugby league. The effort areas, you get off your line here and you restrict them to as many metres as you can, and that's it. It comes into that territory battle.
Crusaders coming forward. You can hear the coaching staff trying to G them up in front of us, away to our right hand side here.
This is quite good. This has been I think they'll be happy from this. From starting in the corner to get into the 40-metre line, I think they'll be happy with that.
Yeah, they will. Well, I was just going to say if they got a good kick away, but that's perhaps not what they wanted, although they take the penalty. Not really sure what the penalty's for on that one. I mean, he's gone to challenge the kick, and he's, if anything, dropped the ball, I think. But we might have another look at this one on the replay. Didn't see an awful lot in it, Jack. Let's see if we see on the screen here. Try and get the replay to run. So they move it to the right-hand side, and
no,
sure there's an awful lot in that, really. I think he's just dropped it to try and kick it, but hey ho, it is where it is. I don't think we'll begrudge them a little bit of territory here. Let's see what the Crusaders have midway through the Vikings half. As you can see at this soon-to-be redeveloped Victoria Pleasure Grounds, the new stand just about complete on the far side of the field. And we're told the due date's around about mid-June, so fans will get to sample the completed ground at some stage later this season, which will be good. Decent crowd in here last week against the London Broncos, and good numbers again today. Next at home against Batley in a couple of weeks' time. But first, matters turn their attention to the 1895 Cup next week as the Vikings go to Rochdale in the quarter-finals. Terrell moves it to Dean. Dean out the back to Wheatley. Wheatley steps. I've enjoyed watching Wheatley. He looks dynamic as that high shot's coming there from Miller. And the referee will give a penalty there, and that seems like more of a penalty. And now it's handbags at dawn, all a bit unnecessary. The 9 Jamie Billsborough going in there and giving Jack Miller a little bit. If there's 2 players on the field that I wasn't going to say we're going to have a scrap, it's probably those 2. But hey-ho, all a bit of nothing, I think, there. The referee will just calm it down. I think we'll put the handbags away and get on with it. Jack's just spotted his man. He's now getting a bit of action up there in the up in the window. I think he's got the window open as well, so he must be freezing. His missus will be in there whinging about the gas bills, you'd think.
Good,
look at that. He's comfy, isn't he? Looks like he's got a beer in hand, and who could begrudge him doing that, eh? It's like you see the guys who sit on the roof at the test match in the cricket, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good on him. Probably £100 of match day tickets there.
He'll take that.
Yeah, he's doing well. So we just await things to get restarted here. You're missing nothing. It's just a little bit of treatment going on for Isaac Wheatley, the Crusaders fullback. Anybody stood out for you for Crusaders, Jack, for those fans who are watching at home? I know it's been a tough afternoon for them.
Yeah, the fullback that you've mentioned a bit, he's looked lively. It looks like he's coming off now. The 13, he stood up and done his job, and yeah, it's just been a good team effort, really. Like, you can't really ask a lot of them, like, just taking to the field, and they've done good, so yeah,
fair play to them. Got to give them every credit we can. So Wheatley is going to come off, and I think the big front rower, Harry Coleman, is going to return to the field here, possibly. Looks like he's getting ready here. Although I'd stab a wild guess, I don't think he'll be going into the fullback spot.
Good if we did.
It's a bit like yourself there, Jack. I think there's some positions you don't want to be playing, and that's probably one of them.
Keep me away from him.
But he is going to be reintroduced as Wheatley comes off. Yeah, he's looked lively. He looks a bit groggy, doesn't he? I think he's took a bit of a bang to the head there, perhaps. So I think they're going to have a bit of a look at that one as the dot comes on. Anyway, the restart play, and the Crusaders come hunting. Can they trouble the Vikings' defensive line here? They've not crossed yet, but they'll be desperate to get some points on the board as Dean drops it into the path of Terrell. Terrell crashes into the line. Good defence, actually, fronted up Hodgson in the line there. I think he's Tyler Craig as well. Options both sides. They move it left. Billsborough dummies, finds the pass out the back to Dean. 2 halfbacks combining on this left-hand side of the field. They make the tackle well through Tomlinson. And once again, they come again with Billsborough. And into the prop forward, Coleman there. Big Harry Coleman. He takes some putting down. Tomlinson in there with Craig. He's very close to the line. He almost gets it down. Very close indeed. As they come to the left with Billsborough, quick hands to the left-hand side. Could be a chance, but the ball just comes out the back. Disappointment for the Crusaders fans. But again, probably one of the better patches of play the Crusaders have had in this match, Jack.
Yeah, they could have maybe been a bit patient with the ball, but Goole did what we had to do. We trusted our systems, and yeah, I think if Crusaders got that back, they'd maybe been a bit more patient and built a bit of pressure.
Well, a couple of more interchanges are going to be made here for the Vikings. We've got 12 minutes to play, and Goole have actually only used 2 of the bench so far today. So Callum Rutland's been reintroduced, having been in and out the side in recent weeks. I suspect he might drop in into the full-back position, just to give Josh Gusdeck a rest, obviously returning from injury today. And Tyler Craig is the man to make way for Callum Shaw as well. So a little bit of a reshuffle, I would think, as the penalty is given. There's a bit of a high shot coming in there on Connor Barley. So we're just having a look at how they'll line up here. I'm just trying to work it out and see what's what. So we've got, as Miller kicks the touch, it's a good kick as well. Really good kick in the breeze, gone long. And right, let's see how they settle up here then, Jack. So I think Callum Shaw at fullback. And I think we've got Rutland probably going to play as hooker. Yeah. And that means Hodgson probably playing as the extra middle. So there's penalties given there as the ball comes loose off Watts. So the one thing we will say, Jackson football in this lineup now for the Vikings. Yeah. So they might go chance their arm a little bit for the last 10 minutes of this game. Yeah, Callum Rutland coming on, like I said, pound for pound up there. He's probably one of the most skillful players. And Shoei, yeah, real happy for Shoei. He's one of the good guys in rugby league, been real patient. And for me, he's been up there with Connor and Cooper, one of our best performers. Yeah, he has. Miller to the line with Tui. Tui, a long ball out to the left-hand side to Howlett. Howlett to break through. This will be his hat-trick. Yeah. The Australian touches down. A hat-trick for Cooper Howlett. 4 more on the board. It's 64 points to 0 to the Vikings with a kick to come. Yeah, good shape once again. Cooper, you get Cooper the ball from there. And like I said, I don't think anyone in this league is going to stop him. Big, strong range athlete. I said, did what he needed to do. And again, took some finishing. I mean, he's coming in there from 18, 20 yards out. Nice bit of build-up play, fast hands. Good ball from Tui. Miss-out pass, skips away from his man. And then, like you say, big athletic, long leg stride. Makes it look easy, actually. Good finish for him. A hat-trick in the first half for Connor Barley. 2 hat-tricks in the second half for Shane Tui and Cooper Howlett. And the Vikings well and truly in control at 64 points to 0. And just to put it in perspective as well, for those who perhaps missed the early exchanges of this match, 3 early tries ruled out for the Vikings as well. And Jack Miller not having his best kicking pair of boots on, has missed a few too, so it could have been probably a far bigger score as well. But the Vikings will take this as Miller lines up, and it will help the points difference no end as well. Good right boot kick, and this time it's low, so the flag stay down. And we've probably been doing him a little bit of disservice as well when we say he's missing his kicks, because we just have to let people know at home it's breezy and there's no protection here at the pleasure grounds. Low run of houses around, but not much else, and that breeze drifts in from the River Ouse, doesn't it? And just, you know, it's a tough one to be kicking touchline conversions from. So yeah, he's done his best he can. We'll give Jack that. We can have that, can't we? We'll let him out. We'll give him as much benefit of the doubt as we can. 64 points to 0 then, as we're inside the final 10 minutes of this Betfred Championship clash, brought to you by Northern Retrofit and Vikings TV, as the Crusaders get us back underway. Kick-off high and long, drifting in the breeze. Tomlinson underneath it. Had to take a few of them this afternoon, and just returns the ball into the carrier. Almost skips away from his man. Good defence. Oh, there's a man down here in back play. I don't know if the referee want to... No, he's back up. Yeah, he doesn't know where he is. So I think we need to get the physio back on here. It's the hooker, Jamie Billsborough. And the physio was quickly on there, and you can normally tell, can't you, just by the reaction on the field. And that one did look like he took a bit of a bang. So they'll go through what they need to go through here on the medical protocols, as that bench is getting tested now a little bit for the visitors. Decent crowd in, Jack, when you have a look around. I mean, obviously, compared to last week, it was probably the Vikings' biggest crowd of the season, and whilst it was a heavy defeat, the Vikings had a real good go in that first 30 minutes, and I think the home crowd responded to that. But considering it's just a few days later, it's another good following here for the town. I'm impressed, like I said, for people to give the Saturday afternoons off. Like I said, it's good. Just looking at some of the other scores in play today, coming in. And a big win for Newcastle as well against Rochdale this afternoon. And of course the Vikings come up against Rochdale next week in the 1895 Cup. As we just wait to see if Jamie Billsborough is going to continue here. A thumbs up. He didn't look like he was going to, but to be fair, thumbs up from the physio. He says he's fine. And we'll get this back underway with Keenan Tomlinson on the ball, and it'll be Rutland to fire it from dummy half. He sends it across field to Watts. Watts moves it early to Ferris. Ferris through the line. Ball goes to ground. It'll be picked up here by the Crusaders. Always a bit of afters in back play, is it? He's so it's all calmed down a little bit there. Didn't see the initial incident. Did you pick up on that one, Jack? Yeah, I think it was either knocking off Brett or they stole it, but I think there was a bit of afters what didn't really need to be. I think Brett just reacted to that. Yeah, it's been a fairly amiable contest, hasn't it? It's been a nice amount of respect between both sides, and don't really need to see it boil over here, but the touch judge is on the field, so he's having a chat with the referee. And the referee on debut in the Championship, Lucas Seal, and he's going to have a chat with Billsborough, captain, number 6. Obviously can't hear, we don't have the referee mic'd up here, so not sure what it was, but a penalty's being given, so I think you've called it right there, Jack. Bit of a late contact after all of that, all a bit unnecessary, but hey ho, we are where we are as we enter the dying embers of this match. Final 5 minutes to play. The Vikings well and truly in control at 64 points to 0, and they'll be hoping just to give the home fans 1 or 2 more things to shout about, you'd think, in this final few minutes. As Miller moves it to Rutland, fresh legs off the bench into 2, he skips back inside, did well to take hold of that, and he's going to just look at him, dynamic, looking for gaps all the time. Skerritt Evans latches hold of the ball, he gets the intercept, and he's charging away to the line. It's a foot race with him and Callum Shaw. He looks to skip inside, and the Vikings defence has travelled across well. Liam Watts tracking back as it was to make the tackle, and a lively bit of action for the Crusaders here as they come again, middle of the park with Coleman. Tackle made centre field, Jubb the man. Crusaders desperate to keep this ball moving. Billsborough takes it into the line, long cut out pass, but this time intercepted by Barley. Interceptions at both ends of the field, and that was a moment for the away fans to shout about.
Yeah, for me, after all the tries we've scored today, that bit there, what we just saw from Shoei, is probably going to be the best bit of the game for me. The effort there, where to not give up and to be willing to hold them to score 0 points, like you can't ask for much better that from a player.
Yeah. And then penalty conceded there against the Crusaders. They're the ones that kill you. And, you know, you've got a good relationship with Vikings coach Scott Taylor. You've known him for a long time, a personal friend as well. And when we hear you in the commentary box, I can tell you've been spending a lot of time with him, because you say all the same things and you're looking for the same details, aren't you? You're cut from the same cloth. Is it the Prop Forwards Union? Are you all part of that same club? Is that what it is, eh?
I think it is. You do the hard stuff in the middle and you just want to be rewarded by your backs. And when you don't get rewarded by them, you're like, oh, God. They don't do the defend what you've got to do.
Correct, 100%. And they get all the fun stuff. They get all the plaudits for scoring the tries as well. Hey, Rutland out of 9, moves it to Miller. Miller, quick hands out to Howlett. Another intercept there, I think. I don't know how he managed to get hold of that one, but he did. McCardle, and then ball goes to ground. Not sure really what's going on here. Miller flops on the man. It's all just getting a little bit scrappy and a bit needless, but we'll see how the next few minutes plays out. You've got a tiring Crusaders side coming up against the Vikings, who look desperate to try and trouble the scoreboard at least one more time in this match. 76 minutes gone, and Crusaders come forward once again, seeing if they can just get something from this match. As I think Billsborough's been brought off the field, so they're obviously just wary of how he is, so we'll see. Final interchange will be the green card. As the ball is kicked in behind, winger looking to chase this one down Holgate, but Halliday takes it well in the air, looks to skip away from his man, but he can't. Oh, he might do, you know. And good defence coming in from Crusaders to try and mop that one up, and the Vikings will start their set midway through the half. A couple of minutes left to play in the match, and we did say we thought we might have beaten the rain. I think we have just, but I don't think it's too far away. Offload into Harmon. Harmon will take this ball forward, skips one way, goes another. Good carry from Macca Harmon, still going up the middle of the park. Harmon, ball is stripped. Referee's going to say it's gone backwards off the Crusaders man. So play on, and I think he was a little bit unfortunate there. Referee said there's no need for that, smashing his head on the floor. That's all a bit unnecessary. What's that about? Game is just starting to just boil over a bit, isn't it? Late on. A frustrated, tiring Crusaders side, and the Vikings desperate to try and get one more try in this match. A good break from Harmon.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Like I said, all that skill he showed in the first half. Bit disappointing the end of it, but still showing what he can do.
Oh, big carry coming in from Coleman. Huge collision there, and Bullock and Watts standing up in defence. Decent bit of prop forward play all round as Crusaders come forward once more. Good defence again from the Vikings, and as you were saying, Jack, it's good to see the Vikings fronting up in defence with real intensity right until the last. Good line speed. Watts in to make the tackles. Ferris in there as well. Ooh, nearly tipped in the tackle. Ferris, of course, has picked up a 2-match suspension, so will actually miss the games against Rochdale and then Newcastle away over the next couple of weeks for the Vikings. Shane Toohey makes the tackle. Crusaders look to come forward again. Last, the kick will be high upfield. Spiral bomb, drifted in the breeze. Shaw's equal to it, makes it easy in the end, and just returns this ball up to the middle of the park as he tries to step away from 2 men. And the Crusaders finally bring down the man just up towards the halfway line. Callum Shaw, who's impressed this year with number 5 on his back. He's played wing, he's played centre, and spent quite a lot of time at full-back this season as well. A versatile youngster, started his career with Hull FC. As Watts takes it into the tackle, another player who's had a bit of time with the black and whites. 3 men in there, just trying to slow him down on his 400th club appearance here today. Special day for him. Former teammate and good friend Joe Westerman at the game today to present his match shirt to him. And his lad with him as well, which is good to see. As Tui feeds it into Tomlinson. Tomlinson will break the line. Tomlinson's heading home. He's got options outside of him. He finds the pass into Harmon, and Harmon will cross to score at the death for a try he deserves. It's another for the Vikings. It's a 68-0 lead, and that's probably a well-deserved score for Macca Harmon.
Yeah, deserved that. Macca has been good. He's had a good lively afternoon, good game, and like I said, he deserves that.
Cherry on top of the cake for the hosts as we watch the replay back. Good break again from Tomlinson on the back of fast hands from Tui, and he just held up play, waited for the man 2 outside of him, and with Barley already over for a hat-trick, this time he returns the favour to Harmon. And look at this, if we get the camera down to this near side, as the full-time hoot is about to sound, as Liam Watts steps forward on his 400th club appearance, having had spells at Castleford, where he played 1 game against Loch Lane, moved to Hull Kingston Rovers, a quick hop across town to the Black and Whites, where he became a back-to-back Challenge Cup final winner, and then returning to Castleford before finishing with Hull and up to Goole. He's now going to get the chance to seal this game with a touchline conversion. He strikes it right-footed. It's not bad, and he's nailed it. Liam Watts with the conversion on his 400th club appearance. Made it look easy. What a way to celebrate your career milestone. Liam Watts with the conversion, and he takes the scoreline to 70. The Vikings 70, Crusaders 0.
Yeah, he's done that before.
I think we're going to hopefully try and get a replay of this. There we are. Look at that, the technique.
God. I think Jack Miller needs to
He
some
smashed. I was going to say, after all those what Jack's missed today.
I know.
It's and look how happy he is with that as well. What a great way to end the match as Crusaders kick short. And is it going to go into touch? It bounces off Crusaders' hand. Farrow is the man there, but he can't deal with it. And another chance for Goole to get the hands on the ball. We are right at the death here. Hoots will sound any time. Our clock is slightly ahead, but we're in the dying embers of this match. And you know, the one problem with Watsy kicking that goal, Jack, is you'll say you'll be dining out on that for at least the next 48 hours, probably most of the week. I would think.
Yeah, you want at the end of that
that's
now.
It.
That's it.
That is it. So we'll have to get that one clipped and out on social media. Oh, Brad Bullock with the carry and just bumps off his man. He's had a good game today as well as Brad Bullock, sort of slowly finding his feet in the side, isn't he, and starting to establish himself against some of the men. That's all a bit. Again, it's got unnecessary. Not really sure that was needed, but
no, it's just like a frustration building up of it. We probably just need the whistle to go now. Don't need an out daft.
The old-timer against the youngster. A couple of minutes left, I think, on the time. Obviously, we had a couple of stoppages, haven't we, for the injuries. So maybe one more time for the Vikings to get over again. Jubb restarts possession, moves it to Tui. Tui to Hodgson, juggles the ball, but takes it well. Skips through a gap in the line, nearly finds the offload, but he takes the tackle. Jubb at dummy half, moves it across field to Watts. Watts looking to charge for the line. He's trying to write a few more headlines, I think. Here is Watts, so he takes the tackle. Options both sides. The Vikings have shaped up. Jubb looks to go himself. Could have come out the back there, but never mind. Options both ways. Hodgson looking to go himself this time. The ball out the back. It's gone to ground. Bullock's there, scoops up possession. It's all got a bit scrappy as I think the players are looking to go score themselves here, Jack, really. They need to be do the basics well. And you can hear the Crusaders fans in full voice as well, which is brilliant to hear. Rutland flat passing to Watts. Watts flat to the line. Has he got this one down? I think he has. And Liam Watts, having nailed the touchline conversion, moments later, he's down for the try. It's the perfect set for Liam Watts. He's got the touchline conversion. He's got the 4-pointer, and he takes the scoreline to the Vikings 74, Crusaders 0. And what a day for the Vikings.
Yeah, it's good. Like I said, we've needed this. It's like it's good. We've done what we need to do. We've put the effort in, and it is a good confidence boost. And like I said, Watts has got to have this extras now.
He's having a bit of fun in the final few moments of this match. He's Liam Watts. I'm trying to think back to his career if he has actually kicked a goal before. I don't believe he has. So another one to add up to what has been an illustrious career so far. Takes his time, right-footed, strikes it lovely.
Cool.
And Joe, was good to see there. On both of those kicks he's lined up and made look easy. none of this nonsense, wasting time, taking forever, kicking them. He's just stepped up, nailed it, and cracked on with it. That's a proper forward, isn't it? Just
get in, get out.
Get it on with it. Absolutely. So, literally now, I think just looking at the clock to our left-hand side, I think that will be that. Just enough time for the Crusaders to get this restarted. We'll get Jack to think about his man of the match over today's game. He's got a few to choose from. 3 hat-tricks, Connor Barley, Shane Toohey and Cooper Howlett, and some good individual performances as well out there as the Vikings claim a 76-0 victory against Crusaders, and arguably could have been more. A number of points left with missed conversions and 3 ruled out tries, as Tomlinson will break away here down the right hand side as Harmon won that short touch kick. He's going to knock the ball back inside to Harmon. Harmon steps off the left foot, heads to the corner. It's going to be another try here for the Vikings. He skips inside, he scores his second of the match. Probably made it harder than it needed to be, but it's another 4-pointer off the short kick-off, and just as we said, there was enough time for the Crusaders to restart. We didn't see that one coming. Back-to-back tries for the Vikings, 80-0 with a kick to come. Talk us through that replay, Jack, as I mean, he almost made it harder for himself. But
yeah, he did. Good individual brilliance from Keenan from the kick-off, and that's it. 2-on-1, put Macca into space, and I said, Macca, probably made hard work in that, but finished it. That's all that matters.
So another touchline conversion to come. This time, because I noticed there was the break there from Keenan, and Watts he hadn't supported, he's decided to let this one go, and somebody else can wander off up there and kick this one. So Callum Rutland, who's a dab hand with the boot himself, will line this one up from this near right-hand side. Steps up right-footed, and that's going to drift wide of the upright. So not another 2 to add to it as the hooter does sound. And, well, a point a minute, Jack. We said earlier you'd have taken that. It's a comprehensive win. You can only play what's in front of you. Before we reflect on the Vikings, let's give all due credit to the Crusaders, who have come here on the back of a turbulent week. They've had one training session, and despite the scoreline, you have to say they've never given in, and they've run the blood to water for their team and for their badge and for their fans today, and that vocal support that's away to our right-hand side. So all credit to them. You can see the side down there in the huddle, grouping up and getting together, and as you said, Jack, that's what today has been all about for them. It's been about coming together as a team and starting the next chapter in the history of this club on the back of winning, of course, the League One title last season. For the Vikings, a comprehensive victory. Hat-tricks in the match from Shane Toohey, Cooper Howlett and Connor Barley, a brace for Macca Harmon, and of course Liam Watts at the death, going over on his 400th club appearance. What did you make of that match, Jack?
Yeah, it was good. Like I said, real professional performance from us. Like you say, credit due to North Wales. It was always going to be tough, but they've got better days ahead of them. From us, we did what we had to do. You can only play what's in front of you, and we've got to really crack on now, take confidence from this, look what's ahead, and like I said, get some consistency going.
Well, we will work back through the tries very shortly on the replay whilst we await those, because it's been a few to work back through. Let's see. So second half tries, it was 32-0 at the break. First one was a nice swift exchange of passes to the left-hand side. Cooper Howlett over for his first of 3 would-be tries in the second half. He took that one well. Next up, as the Vikings sensed blood, and they went again, it was another one at the other end of the field after a good effort from Brad Bullock, who's desperate to get over himself, and once more, as he blocks the replay screen, shifting the ball left. Same players combining, and a carbon copy as Cooper Howlett steps through the line and scores for his second of the match. We'll let you talk us through the next one, Jack.
Yeah, so...
Jack here, just to put it in context, Jack is doing his best to talk through the replay, but he's getting a fair bit of sledging from some of his teammates down here in front of us. You've done well, Jack, and they don't know it, do they? So that was Jack Millett squeezing over for his try after a couple of attempts went begging for him, and this is when the Vikings really turned the screw at this point, took full control of the game. A nice break on the left-hand side from Tyler Craig, charging through the line, could have gone himself, options both ways, but he feeds Shane Toohey, who was over, as well, a hat-trick for him in this second period, taking the scores to 54-0. Another break down the left-hand side. I think it was this. Oh, it was the Ferris try, wasn't it? With Shane Toohey just skipping all over the park and then through a gap in the line to complete his hat-trick. He is dangerous in broken field. There aren't many players can step like him. That is a skill. We'll let you take the next 2 for us, Jack, from here.
Yeah. Well, that was just a big collision off Tom. Was it, penalty? We don't know. But still don't know.
We had to watch back there. Yeah.
Yeah, into this one now. Good field position. Yeah, like we've seen, textbook training move, good shape, everyone on sync, ends with a good line by Cooper, and like I say, Cooper knows what to do from there.
Watts with the play of the ball. This is a nice exchange in midfield with the break from Keenan Tomlinson. Nice hands out wide, McAharman over for his first. Yeah, it was well built up, and he deserved that because he'd had a good game, McAharman. Then we got the highlight, well, we thought was going to be the highlight of the game. Liam Watts stepping up on his 400th career appearance and kicking the touchline. Some boot that, he's absolutely nailed it. Look how happy he is as well. That's great to see. That's what it's all about. What a career he's had. Watts was then over for the try under the post, which we actually missed on the replay, and then one last time just at the death. Keenan Tomlinson collecting the short kick-off. Options inside. Harmon step left, step right, and finally finished for his second of the game and completing the rout for the Vikings by 80 points to 0. And the story of the championship, and probably gives you an idea of the depth of since merging the two leagues. It's rare you would see a season anywhere in any sport where you can go from losing in a game where you're actually quite competitive by 70 points to 10, and then the following week go beat a team by 80. That's some swing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and it's up and down. And like I said, we know they deal with some salary caps, like obviously, and the expenses what some teams have got. But all you can do is concentrate on yourself, and I think that's what we've done this year. We've been competitive in most games, that's all you want to do. You want to compete. You want to win. In the next things, you want to compete. And going into the second half of the year, I think we've had a good look at everyone now, and we know what to expect. And it becomes all about ourselves.
100%. Final word on a couple of things. Firstly, your man of the match today. Who would you pick out?
Yeah, there's been a few hat-tricks, but I'm going to stick to forward junior, and I'm going to give it to Brad Bullock. I think he did exactly what you need off a bench player. He was good in defence and attack, and he brought that energy. What we want.
Yeah, good on him. And final word, big game next week. Of course, the Vikings will be full of confidence after this one, but not taking anything for granted. They understand the level of the opposition they're up against today. But we've seen the Vikings be a really strong cup side, and a big clash against Rochdale Hornets away next weekend with a place in the semi-finals up for grabs.
Yeah, to play the quarter-final of any cup, it's an achievement itself. And like I said, in our short history, to be in a quarter-final, I don't think you'd have dreamt of that. So it's massive. We owe Rochdale like 1 or 2, like I said, but confidence is the main thing. We know we can compete with the best teams in the league, and it's just about on the day being consistent. Everyone's down, like I said, complete eye, and you're going to be in any game rugby league if you can do that. 100%. Well, Jack, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for joining us, because we know we dragged you in last minute, and you're going to get all sorts of grief, I would think, now from your teammates when you get down there. But you've done a sterling job. Thank you for joining us on Vikings TV. Big thank you, of course, to Jamie and the production staff for putting your broadcast together here on Lounges TV, where the Vikings have been victorious in the Betfred Championship. It's finished. The Vikings 80, Crusaders 0.